Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, dear students, today we are going to start with the comprehension section of chapter number 5. That is regarding the small boy Peter and his granddad. So that is a very heartfelt story. And the first question on our hand is describe the conversation between Peter and granddad at the beginning. So we may start that at the beginning, and obviously we are talking about the beginning of the story. Peter and granddad they share a warm and heartfelt conversation. Granddad actually he was talking about he talks about cheerfully about the black blanket, the going away gift, and he pretends that he is very happy and full of gratitude. So we may say that although the granddad is trying to comfort Peter, but the boy senses his sadness. So their exchange actually shows how deep is their affection, and their unspoken sorrow is also evident that they are being separated. So this was the conversation at the beginning of the story. Alright, dear students, we have the second question. Why was Peter dad sending granddad away, and where to? So actually we all know that Peter's dad was sending granddad away to government home, that actually means an old home for the people, for old men, and he believed that as he is not most of the time home, so his aging father would be better cared for there. So he believes that his father will be safe there, especially, and another reason was as he was preparing to remarry. That means he was planning to marry again. Just a final concluding sentence, dear students. This decision also reflects or reflected his selfishness, because he wants to in a way get rid of his father, and also lack of emotional responsibility that actually he has, because he is a son, and towards his own father. So there are two reasons actually. He believes that he will be safe in the old home, and secondly, the primary reason is actually that he was preparing to remarry. Right. The question number 3 is give the reason for the girl's mind change. He was married to his dad. So dear students, we all know that Peter's father actually was giving him a very expensive blanket as a going away gift, So the girl's attitude actually changes when she notices the expensive double blanket, because she believes that his future husband is too much spending on his father. So she feels it is wasteful. So she believes that spending on father was a wastage of money to give such a fine item or gift to an old man. She actually has forgotten that the old man is his father who is leaving. So her cold and materialistic kind of approach, materialistic remarks, that actually embarrasses Peter's father and makes him realize how wrong his decision is. That is the decision to marry her. So the girl actually changed her mind when she saw the double blanket. Question number 4 is: was it a surprise when Peter asked his father to cut the blanket in two? So I believe yes, it was a complete surprise. Uh, Actually, Peter's request was innocent because he's just a young boy, but meaningful as well, because actually he actually is teaching his father a very important lesson. He suggested cutting the blanket in two so that the half could be saved. So he's planning to save the other half for his father. And for when he grew old, that means when he would become old, and was sent away to the old home. So this act, actually, that was the turning point of the story. This act made his father realize, because he realized the cruelty that he was doing, of his behavior with his father, and the moral lesson as well, and the moral lesson behind his son's word. So that was definitely a surprise, because nobody was expecting this from Peter. Right, dear students. Question number 5 is: Peter's attitude towards his father and granddad was unusual. Elaborate. So we may start by saying that Peter actually shows maturity, which was beyond his age, and we may also say that he loves and respects his granddad deeply, because he was present most of the time at home and he had a very deep connection with him, and he cannot accept his father's harsh decision, and we all know that he had decided to send his father away. Yet he never shouts or misbehaves, or he never argues as well. Instead, through a simple act, and we all know cutting the blanket, that is the simple act we are talking about. And so through that simple act, he actually teaches his father a moral lesson, and what about compassion and the family values. So definitely he has behaved in an unusual manner, and we do not expect a boy of his age to behave in such a manner. Dear students, question number 6 is about the moral lesson. The moral lesson taught in the story about human relationships. So we will write the answer by saying that the story teaches us that kindness, love, and respect for parents and elders are essential virtues, that means qualities, and it reminds us that our actions towards our parents will one day reflect back on us. That means whatever we do with our parents, that will be happening to us in the future. So the story emphasizes the moral truth, and the moral truth is, we may say, as you sow, so shall you reap. That means you are going to get whatever you are giving your parents these days. So this is the moral lesson of the story. Right, dear students, the next question is to describe the problems of characters. So we have actually 3 or 4 main characters, so we'll talk about them individually. So we may start by writing an introductory sentence. Each character in the story faces emotional and moral struggles, we may say. And first of all, we'll talk about granddad. Granddad actually suffers from loneliness, and secondly, rejection because his family's son is sending him to old home. Secondly, Peter's father, he struggles between duty towards his father and self-interest. So that is why he's planning to remarry again. While last but not the least, Peter is torn between love and love for his granddad, obviously, and respect for his father. So he does not want to lose any of them. So finally, just the concluding sentence we have at the end. This problem resolves around loss of empathy, that means feeling for others, and secondly, generational, we may say gap, or we may say misunderstanding. So these are the problems, dear students, each of the characters is facing in the story. Question number 8 is about Peter's father. So we may say that Peter's father is a practical person, but we may add that he is insensitive because he does not understand the feeling of his father. So he actually values comfort and social acceptance over family love. So obviously we have some good things however, if we want to see him as a whole, he is not evil. That means primarily he is not bad. Simply, he simply fails to realize. The emotional pain. Obviously, the emotional pain caused by his deceit, and actually he is giving pain to both his father and his son. So what happens in the end, that Peter's innocence helps him awaken to the true meaning of love and duty. So his father is not bad, but somebody should be there to make him realize that he was committing a mistake, and he understood his mistake in the end. Question number 9, the last of all, is examine how the author has developed and contrasted the points of view of different characters, that mean different generations, and critique the plot development with respect to different aspects of the story. Dear students, so first of all, let's see Floyd Bell, the writer. First of all, he has contrasted the innocence, that is of Peter, wisdom of granddad, and the materialism of father. Secondly, you may say that the plot that is actually unfolding itself very naturally from emotional tension in the beginning and then to the moral awakening of father. So we may continue. The climax, dear students, comes when Peter's innocent yet profound gesture, that is the cutting of blanket, that is leading to a touching resolution of realization, that means facing the reality, and finally forgiveness. So the author actually is using very simple language, very strong symbolism and emotional depth to deliver a universal message about, these are the messages: love, empathy and family unity. So that is how, dear students, if question comes on the contrasts of different characters and about the plot of the story, so you need to respond in that way. So with that, dear students, we have come to the end of this session of comprehension questions. I hope you have understood the answers correctly, and you may now practice it yourself. And remember that you need to follow all the rules, regulations and instructions that is given by the board.